So let's talk about this defense, specifically that defensive line that I know Billy wants to talk about, which was another source of some pain last year. Let's be honest. Now, some of that, I don't think that people understand enough how big of a role injuries played in that. But, Jeremy, there's a lot of talent on that defensive line. How are we feeling about it? What should we expect? Is it going to be that much better? And is it going to be able to facilitate all of those aggressive blitzes out of the 3-3-5 that Andy Avalos wants to do?
Let me preface what I'm about to say, and that I like Caleb Fox, I like Tymon Mitchell, and I like Hakeem. I'm not going to try to say his last name. It's very hard to say. But I really feel like the next crop of defensive linemen they have coming up are better. I mean, we saw Marcus Steele really take hold of that nose tackle position late in the season. If he's playing against Baylor, I really feel like TCU wins that game. He was such a force in run defense. Ansel getting him back home, Melito kid. He is such a high motor kid. It was so fun watching that kid. The team loves that guy. He brings such good energy. I feel like those two guys are really, really good. Beyond those two guys, there's a lot of question marks. They got kids that don't have a ton of experience. Tristan Johnson, I feel, is going to be very good. That's the name everyone I spoke with just kept talking about. Tristan Johnson this, Tristan Johnson that. He worked a lot with the second team. Connor Lindgren, he was a force at College Station out of high school. It was such a great late addition to their class. I can't remember what signing class he was out of, but there was a ton of teams after him. Came to TCU as a DT, went to offensive line, moved back to defensive line, played some meaningful snaps last year. He was really good in spring. But there's a lot of talent, a lot of potential beyond those guys. I just don't know how well it's going to be when it comes to rotation. Kelton Mickle, Percy Cole, they lost Avion Carter to the transfer portal. I don't think he was a guy that was seeing a lot of time. Sterling Brooks is the biggest defensive lineman. He's still trying to come into his own. I still think he's another year away, but I feel if the top
335.
Yeah,
335.
He's a force. I'm just going to tell you. But I feel like if Kelton Mickle can come on a little bit stronger, he showed some really good flashes. He's a bowling ball. He's not your 6'3", 6'4" defensive lineman. He's probably 6'1", but he's got such a quick first step, and he's really, really powerful. But those guys, Marcus Steele and Ansel, are going to be so important. They got to stay healthy. But I feel like they have the potential to be 6 deep. But right now, I would say they're probably 3.5, maybe 4, if Connor still continues to play the way he did in the spring.
Do we like Zach Chapman at all? Was that you didn't mention that name?
Well, I was thinking of interior.
Okay,
Zach moved from interior to edge. If we want to talk edge, I mean, I was going to start with the interior because there were basically 2 different positions. But Zach Chapman might have been one of my top 3 players to watch this spring. He reminds me so much of me personally, just how athletic he is. But no, he is a humongous kid. He like when I see him, he looks NFL ready. He's a legit 6'5". He's 255, 260 pounds. He's so fast off the edge, does a great job using his arms. He's going to be the guy that he was an All-American by the Athletic last year as an interior, as a 3-tech, but they moved him out to edge. And man, he made so many great plays in the spring. I can't wait to see how much he's going to play once Paul gets back. Remember Paul, we haven't seen him in basically a year and a half. Michael, we haven't seen Michael since the Michigan game in the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, he came in late in that game just to rush the quarterback. So you don't have those 2 guys that went through spring, but you have guys like Zach Chapman, Travis Jackson, who played every game last year as a true freshman. The edge position, Chad Woodfork, potential through the roof. I really like the edge position. The edge position might be my top 3 position group in the entire roster. That's how great I feel about that group.
Man, That's huge. That's huge for these blitz packages too.
1 and 2.
What's that?
Who's 1 and 2, Jeremy? If they're 3 or the top 3, who else in the top 3?
I mean, that's going to be a question because I've had conversations. Just wait till we get fully healthy, and when you don't have a fully healthy Paul out there or Michael out there, those two guys, just seeing them if you've never been to a TCU practice and you go to where the purple jerseys are working out, which is the defense. If I've never seen them, I'm immediately asking, okay, who the heck is number 97 and who the heck is number 6? That's Michael's number now. He switched from 94. Because athletically and just physically, they're the two most impressive guys on that defense. But like I said, they haven't played any football hardly in the last year. And so how fast can they navigate playing against other competition? They're still going to be – if I'm TCU, if I'm the coaches, I'm not going to rush those guys back in fall camp because I want them healthy when they go to North Carolina. I want them healthy when they play – the rest of the 25 season. I want those guys to be available, but they're talented enough to come in and rotate. Hey, let's play Paul first and second down, or let's play Paul first down, or let's play Zach first down, second down. They're so interchangeable. They're pretty even to me. And I think the emergence of Zach and Travis at edge has made them so much better. I mean, I just can't express it enough. I feel like they're going to do a great job of getting to the quarterback. I'm not going to say it reminds me of the GP era as far as defensive ends go.
It's just different.
The size is definitely bigger, but a guy like Chad Woodfork does remind me of a GP defensive end, just a 6'4", 225, 230-pound kid that can really get off the edge fast and get to the quarterbacks. It feels like that entire group, even though they're bigger, has that ability. They just really have a quick, explosive first step. They don't let linemen get their hands on them to gain that leverage, and they do a good job of getting to the quarterback. So I feel like just having those guys there on the defensive line is going to help. And I've talked to Andy about it 100 times. Every year, he's told me, every year his defense has gone well, his defensive line has been strong. I'm going to tell you, they are very, very excited about the defensive line right now.
Nice. Well, and some good-looking linebackers backing them up, too. I mean, we got Obiezor back. We got Caleb Elamsor back. And Max Carroll. We think Max Carroll could maybe make an impact this year? I mean, talk to me about linebackers, Jeremy.
Well, Max kind of reminds me of Caleb did. Caleb finished 4th on the team in tackles, I believe, and he didn't even start. And you had Namdi and Johnny, my boy Johnny Hodges, that started at linebacker. But Caleb and Namdi, I really think I'm going to have you thinking TCU's going to the playoffs when we get off this call, Clint, because
hype me up.
I got to wait 99 days for this. Come on.
But I really do feel like if they're healthy, I feel like Namdi and Caleb are two of the better linebackers in the Big 12, just as I feel Josh is one of the better quarterbacks. I think if you look at the stats, Namdi's proven it the last 2 years. When I watch that kid, I look at him 6'3", 235 pounds. He's, it's 5'11", 190 as a high school senior. It's just amazing to see his transformation. But those two guys are big time. Max Carroll's going to be a guy that plays a lot. Michael Thiessen, the guy they got out of Missouri State from the transfer portal, he's going to make a lot of plays. He's big and athletic. But like I said, with the defensive line, you get beyond those 4 guys. You don't want to get beyond those 4 guys. You do not want to have to rely, not that they're not talented, I mean, but they're young. You have walk-ons, you have freshmen. It's a position that's going to have a lot of question marks if they have some guys get injured. So as long as Namdi and Caleb and Max remain healthy, and maybe the emergence of Michael from Missouri State, I think they'll be fine at linebacker.
Yeah, and a lot of good defensive backs. I mean, I think if Avery Helm can stay healthy, Channing Canada. I mean, obviously Bud Clark is back for another go round. Like, we love to see that.
Were you surprised that Bud came back, by the way? That kind of shocked me a little
bit. Yeah, I was really surprised, simply because he walked. I mean, he walked on senior day. I mean, come on. I mean, when you walk on senior day, you're kind of like, well, his mind wasn't made up, but he was going to walk just in case, so he could say I walked out of Amon or the Carter the last time. But yeah, I was kind of surprised until about 2 weeks prior to his announcement. I kept hearing whispers about it, kept hearing more and more whispers about it, and then finally I saw him at practice, or saw him somewhere, and just said, "Hey man, you coming back? It's I'm your uncle, man. I've took care of you. We're Clarks. Just tell me." And he's like, he just got that big old Bud Clark smile, and I just knew then that he was coming back. But of course, I just told him, I said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to wait till you announce. I'm not going to steal your thunder." But yeah, it was really cool to see him come back, because Bud is such a leader, man. Just having that guy back on this defense is going to help them incredibly. I mean, you can't replace Bud Clark. If they would have lost him, it would have been abysmal not seeing his energy. Even he didn't even go through spring camp, man, but the energy was still there. Just the way he hypes up his teammates. He gets into the grill of the offensive guys, gets under their skins, and then he messes with them, then he loves on them. It's fun to watch, because he is just the ultimate guy. I guarantee if you ask 100 of those players out there who's the team leader, 99 of them are going to say Bud Clark, and probably the only one that won't say it is him, because he doesn't want to take all that hype and pressure on himself. He wants other people to do it with him. But yeah, Bud Clark's one of a